grade California History Social Science book, Social Studies, Lesson 2. I'm going to start on page 12. Regions of California. Vocabulary. Region, bay, tourist, academic vocabulary, primary, and series. The big question. I will know the region of California that I live in. Jumpstart activity. Imagine that your classroom is the entire state of California. Follow your teacher's instructions and stand with a partner in one of the 4 areas: coast, mountain, valley, and desert. You and your partner are going to film a movie in that area. Together, act out a scene from your movie. What kind of scene might take place in your particular area? So if you'd like to do this at home with someone, pretend that you are part of either the coast, the mountain, the valley, or the desert, and make a film where you're showing that the scene is behind you. I would choose the mountains. You can use your iPad to film. Just choose the camera and pick video. Send that to me. California is divided into 4 regions. A region is a large area of land with similar features that is different from other areas. California's 4 regions are coast, Central Valley, mountains, and desert. Each region is defined by its features and landforms. Coastal region. Along the western side of California, the coast of the Pacific Ocean extends for more than 1,000 miles. The coastal region is home to California's largest cities. Forests cover much of the land along the state's northern coast. Redwood National Park is famous for its very old, tall trees. It starts in the far north in Crescent City and stretches 40 miles down the coast. About 300 miles south of Redwood National Park is the San Francisco Bay Area. A bay is a body of water that is part of an ocean and partly surrounded by land. This area is home to the big cities of San Francisco and Oakland. California's central coast is marked by rocky cliffs. A 100-mile stretch of coast called Big Sur is known for its beautiful views of the Pacific Ocean. The central coast is also home to Santa Cruz, Monterey, and other smaller cities. Farther south, the state's coast offers some of the finest beaches in the world. This area also has very mild weather. Beaches like Santa Monica and Redondo Beach attract millions of tourists every year. A tourist is a person who travels for pleasure. The southern coast is also home to Los Angeles and San Diego, 2 of California's biggest cities. Read and check. Draw conclusions. Discuss with a partner why you think many of California's largest cities are located in the coastal region. So, you talk with someone at home and decide, why do you think so many people want to live in the coastal region? What about it might be so desirable? Page 14. The Central Valley. The Central Valley runs through the center of the state. It's quite long, but only about 40 miles wide. The cities of Bakersfield, Fresno, Stockton, and the state capital of Sacramento are all found in the Central Valley. Identify the region of California in which you live by circling it on the map. So actually, this is a good time to do that because the Central Valley is where we live. So we're going to find that right here. And we actually live kind of near Fresno. We are right down here, a little bit south of Fresno. So this would be the region where we live, right here. See, all this orange part here is the Central Valley. This green part here is the coast. The purple part, those are mountains. And this kind of tan color is the desert. And if you look here, this is called a legend, and it'll tell you what the colors mean on the map. This here is a compass, and it shows you which way is north, which way is south, which way is east, and which way is west. That's what those letters stand for. This here tells you that for about every finger that you would put, if you put your thumb on there, it'd be about 100 kilometers, and maybe 2 fingers would be about 100 miles. So if you were like, I wonder how big California is, about maybe 300 miles, or maybe about 500 kilometers. The Central Valley is California's primary farming area. It's good for farming because it has a long growing season with rich soil. Farmers in the Central Valley grow fruits, vegetables, and grains. Ranchers raise cattle there. Primary, it's right here, means most important. So it's the most important farming area. Because the region has little rain, most farms need to irrigate the land. Two major rivers, the Sacramento River and the San Joaquin River, are used to bring water to farmland. The Central Valley's two parts are named for these rivers. The Sacramento Valley is in the north, and the San Joaquin Valley is in the south, and we live in the San Joaquin Valley. California's mountains. Surrounding the Central Valley on all sides is a series of mountain ranges. On the valley's northeastern side is the Cascade Range. Mount Shasta and its two peaks is located in the Cascade Range. The Klamath Mountains are to the Central Valley's northwest. Along the Central Valley's western edge are the Coast Ranges. To the south are the Tehachapi Mountains. These mountains make a border between Central and Southern California. Towering over the Central Valley's eastern side are the mighty Sierra Nevada. Mount Whitney, the state's highest mountain peak, is part of the Sierra Nevada. The Sierra Nevada attract many tourists each year. People come to hike, ski, and enjoy the scenery of places like Yosemite National Park and Lake Tahoe. Page 16. Which region do you live in? What are its geographical features? We were just saying that we live in the region of the Central Valley and we have a lot of farming. That's one of our geographical features. California's deserts. Much of the southern part of California is covered in sandy and rocky deserts. The largest desert in the state is the Mojave Desert. This desert lies to the south of the Sierra Nevada and to the southeast of the Tehachapi Mountains. Despite its very hot summers and cold winters, people do live in the Mojave Desert, in towns like Lancaster and Barstow. In the graph, you can see that the population of desert cities are much lower than the populations of major California cities. So let's take a look at that map now. If we look here, you see the population in San Francisco is almost 900,000. It's more than 800,000 people, okay? This is the population, means the number of people. Lancaster has more than 100,000, and Barstow is so close down here to almost close to zero. It's not even close to 100,000. Much lower than the other cities. The Mojave Desert includes an area called the Death Valley. It has the lowest land in North America. It lies 282 feet below sea level. Very few people live in Death Valley. Other areas of interest lie near the Mojave Desert. Palm Springs is located in the Coachella Valley. It's a popular spot for vacationers and Hollywood movie stars. Joshua Tree National Park is famous for its beautiful desert landscape. The unique Joshua trees need little water to survive in the desert. Reading check. Fill in the chart and identify one place or geographical feature for each region. So I want you to go back and I want you to find an identifying feature for the coast, the Central Valley, the mountains, and the desert. If you would like, you can rewind this and go back, or you can read yourself. So let me give you an example. The deserts in California are covered in sand. So I might put sandy, and I also might say that there is a Mojave Desert, or you might have wanted to put Lancaster, because it says you can identify one place or a geographical feature. I just showed you both. Lesson 2, check. Compare and contrast. Identify the differences between the physical features of the California desert and the coastal region. So you're going to probably want to make a Venn diagram, kind of like this, maybe a little bigger on a separate sheet of paper. And you're going to put on this side here the desert, and this side here the coast. And then in the middle here you put what's the same. So you might want to say they both have sand, but the coast has very nice weather, right? And the desert can be very hot or very cold and gets very little rain. And also you might want to say how many people live here and how many people don't really live here. Number 5, describe the region that you live in. You live in the Central Valley. So I want you to go back into the text and find some describing words for the Central Valley and then add those here for number 5. Number 6, which geographical feature in your region might be the most attractive to visitors? Explain. So if you remember in the text, there was some information about the Central Valley, and it said that we have farming capitals, so we're very important for farming, and there are some rivers that run through the Central Valley. So maybe you want to talk about the farming or the rivers here.